Welcome to Meet Me in the Penthouse. I am Amy, along here with my sister Molly. We help high-achieving women increase their income, but most importantly, their impact. We are neighbors, sisters, and business partners. We have built 8-figure businesses together, traveled the world together, raised our children together, mentored thousands of men and women together, and it's all because we have a penthouse mindset. We aim for the top, and we show others how to empower themselves to peel back the layers and truly step into their greatness and calling. Welcome to Meet Me in the Penthouse.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Meet Me in the Penthouse, where we help individuals really level up, right? Not just make an income, but make an impact. And so I am your host today, Molly Kroeker, and I'm so excited to spend some time with you because I'm just coming off an incredible retreat that we led on a Saturday. And it was called Live a Limitless Life. But the thing I really spoke on, and I've shared on podcasts before, is I got to teach on the mind. And that to me, especially being my previous occupation was as a sports medicine physical therapist. And so I feel like I really understand the anatomy. I get how the body works. And I really love teaching on the mind because it's not something we ever learn in graduate school. It's not something that you are in cadaver lab and you're like, oh, there it is. There's the mind. No, you can see the brain and obviously you can see a whole lot of other things, but you don't ever see the mind. And we often think, and I explain this, that the brain is not your mind. Your mind is your body, and your body is your mind, and your mind is infinite. It's everything. It's the electromagnetic force that runs through your body. So I'm not here to teach on that. You can go back and find that in another podcast. But what I do want to teach on today is just the principles of finding your purpose. And Napoleon Hill calls it definiteness of purpose. Sometimes you'll hear it called chief aim. Sometimes you'll hear it as your overarching goal. But whatever it is, wherever you are in life, the biggest thing is you were put on this earth to do something big, right? One of my favorite podcasters, Ed Milet, says this all the time, like, be the one, right? Just you were put on this earth for something great. And it makes me sad because honestly, 95% of you are drifting. You're going through life aimlessly. And that was me too. That was me too. And it wasn't that I wasn't doing great things. I was busy. I was working 60 hours a week and I loved it. I loved helping patients. I loved training for marathons. Back in those days, it was marathons. We had 2 small kids. My husband traveled a ton. I mean, I was just existing. I didn't have these huge goals. I mean, maybe a goal was like, okay, I'm going to run the marathon this year. I'm going to qualify for Boston this year. Like, I had goals and I obviously knew how to set goals for patients. That's all I did, right? 10 hours a day is write short-term and long-term goals for them. But as far as like myself, I might have, like I said, a goal for a race or a goal for there wasn't even anything about personal growth and development. There weren't any vision boards. I wasn't even doing that back then. So once I learned definiteness of purpose, it really is about finding out who you are. And we all have a purpose. And a lot of times the ego will protect you and say, no, you're okay. You don't need to stand out. You're doing just fine. I talk to a lot of people that are like, well, I'm good. Financially, I'm really good. I'm where I want to be in life. And that is okay. But I'm telling you, be careful for complacency and just being okay because we truly were not made as humans to just be comfortable. And so stretching and growing, and honestly, a goal, a definiteness of purpose could be like sharing your faith, right? I am definitely not just a religious person, a spiritual person as well, but I know where I'm going after this life. And so my faith is very, very important to me. And I'm going to talk about faith here as well, but not in the sense of religion, but more in a sense of spiritual and not knowing the how. But back to definiteness of purpose. If you don't know exactly what you want, how can you expect to get it? And so I think to my college daughter, Sophie. So as she is getting ready to graduate, like, I don't know what it is I want to do. I'm not sure what it is. I think she's seeing like all the way down the road. And I'm like, Sophie, we have changed our mind. I'm not even practicing in a career. I went to school for 7 years. And my husband, certainly his first job out of college, and his parents never complained or said anything. He was selling cars. He wasn't using his college degree at all. So, but I'm like, just get clear on what it is that you love. What is it that you love? And to be honest, the question I'm going to ask you is, what is it that you want? What do you really, really want? And those of you who know me know I'm a runner and a cyclist and a swimmer and a tennis player and all the things. I just love being outside. I love being active. But if I'm running alone, you might even hear me talk to myself and say, okay, Molly, what is it that you want? What do you really want? And I can go 10, 12, 15 miles. And I am just honestly talking to myself out loud. Like, what is it that you want? All right, let's get clear on what you want. What do you really want? And honestly, I kind of peel the onion down a little bit, like the layers of the onion, but why? But why do I want that? Like a lot of people I hear, their purpose is, I just want freedom. I want time freedom. I want financial freedom. Okay, but why? Why is that important? And then answer the question, why is that important? Why is it so important that you have, well, I want to be, for me, I wanted to be a present parent. I didn't want to be a stay-at-home mom, but I did want to be a present parent. I didn't know how to get that, right? I didn't know what that looked like. Well, why is that important? Well, you know what? My mom was a teacher, and I grew up, even though she was busy in the summers, she was always doing another thing, right? Whether, I mean, my mom worked hard, so she was doing something else on her quote summers off. I feel like teachers now don't have summers off, but my mom, she was around. And so, I remember that was so important to me. I would say, I've got all this vacation time. Can I go ahead and just cash it all in for 12 weeks and just be at home with my kids for the summer? And my boss would say, Molly, that's not why, we didn't hire you. No, we can't lose you because you're a number one. People wait forever to see you, and it's not like you're a teacher. And I'm like, I know, but I've got all this time off. I really want to use it. So everybody else wants to use it too in the summer. So I'm just saying, like, find out your purpose. Why was it important that I was a present parent? What was the purpose behind that? And what is your purpose? Because we all have a purpose. And again, it's like saying you don't have a purpose and then jumping in the car and saying, okay, I always say, when you know your purpose, you're going to have a roadmap to get there. And that's what definiteness of purpose is all about, is how do I get there? Give me the roadmap, because Lord knows I was not born with directions. And if I'm going to head to Disney World, I better have a plan to get there. So it's really your plan to get there. And so success doesn't happen by accident. You hear this, it happens by design. And you need a clear, specific goal because it gives you direction, right? I just can't imagine waking up and not having purpose. And that purpose could be like, I'm going to be the best, mom to these kids today. And I talked to a mom today and she's like, I'm not going to lose my cool. Like, my goal is not to lose my cool every day. I'm like, okay, that can be a goal, but ultimately, what is it that you love to do? And it fuels your motivation, right? It keeps you focused when distractions arise, because we're such a distracted population. It keeps us on track. And so ask yourself, if you're not sure, if you're listening to this and you're like, Molly, I don't really have a goal, or I'm doing fine. I'm like, no, you've got something deep inside of you. I just simply want you to ask, like, what is it that I want? And do you have a burning desire for something specific? And if not, it's time to get clear, because clarity is the foundation of success. So it's time to get clear. And that is, so I just really want you to spend time in that. And it might take you a month. It might take you longer. It might be overnight. A little hot trick that I loved is, if I had a question, and I can't remember if Albert Einstein did this or who did this, but on a piece of paper, just fold it in half and ask the question, what is my purpose? Am I supposed to blank? Am I supposed to get my real estate license? Am I supposed to go back to school? Am I supposed to volunteer at the Humane Society? I mean, whatever it is, ask your burning question and just fold it on a piece of paper, look at it before you go to bed, and let your subconscious go to work at how that's going to happen. So, but my bottom line here on point number one is, we all have a purpose. And having a definiteness of purpose gives you power of clarity. And so you're going to wake up, you're going to spring out of bed, you're going to have purpose, you're going to have a reason to be alive. And honestly, it's about serving others, right? It's about serving others. That's why we're on this earth. So we're here to serve others. The second thing is, do you have a mastermind? My mastermind meets every single Monday at 9 a.m. We are on there. We are at home in our offices. We're not driving. We're not, all the things. We are present. We are dialed in. We read into the mastermind because it really, truly is a coming together of a meeting of the minds is what it is. And so it is really important. We have these mastermind principles that we read through. And it's so powerful because we're like, all right, we're coming together. We're letting each other fuse like our vibration. And I've talked about this in a recent podcast, but our vibration is high. Our thoughts are powerful. We've got feelings that are very positive and excitement. And so our vibration is high. So we're attracting, right? Like attracts like. So we are the average of the 5 people we hang out with. Our kids have heard that forever since they were little, but a mastermind truly is that. 2 or more minds come together in harmony. They create far greater the sum of parts. So think about the most successful people you know. They do not do it alone. They surround themselves with people who challenge them. It's good to be challenged. And I was blessed enough to have that with my brother this weekend. And I said, Richard is our chosen family, right? I have a blood brother who I love and adore, Treg, but Richard really is chosen family. And I love it because he brought up some hard things. And I said, I welcome this. Like, I welcome the challenge. So a mastermind is people who challenge you, people who inspire you, help you grow. And so who's in your circle? Are they helping you to rise, or are they keeping you stuck? And so if you want to reach the next level in life, surround yourself with better people. A lot of you know I am back at tennis, and I've raced for 20 years. And my last big race was Ironman, Wisconsin. And it was absolutely incredible. It was the most magical race with the best temperatures, with incredible, like everything about it was amazing. But I kind of knew in my head, like, this is a great way to go out, right? Like, this is a great way to go out. I'm done swimming in gross Nebraska, Midwest, Iowa, Kansas lakes. I'm tired of having algae outbreaks and, having to detox out with parasites from swimming in nasty lakes. And I'm just kind of done with it. And kind of, right? You heard the word kind of, but I am back to playing tennis. I played in high school growing up. So it's been quite a period of time before I played tennis, but I'm always asking, like, let me play on the next best court. Like, don't put me on the last court. Let me play on the next one. And the thing is I've gotten better because I'm hanging out with people better than me. I am happy if I am the worst one. If I am the worst one, if I am the lowest food chain on the totem pole, then I am in the right crowd, right? Like, if it is stretching me and growing me, I'm with the right people. And that used to intimidate me. Like, oh my goodness, do I need like a dictionary, encyclopedia? Do I need my Google to look things up because I don't even know the words they're speaking of? But again, I don't want to be the smartest one in the crowd because that means I'm in the wrong crowd. I want to be the one that is learning and growing and stretching, but also providing value for them. I'm not just taking, right? I'm not just taking. I'm looking for ways that I can give to them if I am that weakest link in the mastermind. But a mastermind is powerful. And probably what you don't know is that is how some of the greatest organizations were ever created. The Boy Scouts of America, Girl Scouts, all came from a mastermind. And so that is a really powerful thing. So who are you surrounding yourself with? And are they making you better? Are they making you better? Because you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. And last is a principle called faith. And you'll hear it called autosuggestion, but autosuggestion is just suggesting to yourself, suggestions that you say. And so success starts in the mind. We know that. And what I love is repeating empowering thoughts and beliefs is all that autosuggestion is. Repeating empowering thoughts. Because remember, thoughts are things, and your feelings about the thoughts that you're having creates the action or reaction that your body has. And so thinking about that, you can reprogram your subconscious to attract what you desire. And that is important. So it's the belief you have and the feeling you have about that belief, right? It's the belief you have and the feeling you have about the belief. You can absolutely attract what you are desiring. So your brain believes it, whatever you tell it repetitively. So think about Muhammad Ali, right? I am the greatest. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. He said that over and over and over. He believed it. I will tell you this. I always refer to myself as an athlete. I am an athlete. I am an athlete. I will tell you this. If you go back and ask any of my high school friends, they were going to be like, girl's not athletic. She was on the last court in tennis. She got cut from volleyball. She threw up in the garbage can after the 400-meter, relay. All true. But you know what? I started after I got on the podium after my first sprint triathlon. I got second place. And I was 32 years old. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I think I found something I'm really good at. So I made the decision that I was an athlete. And I've referred to myself now as an athlete over the last 32 years. And that's how I show up. Again, it's the becoming, right? It's the embodiment of that. I show up as an athlete. That means that whenever I travel, I'm always going to work out. If I stay out too late, I'm always going to work out. It's just part of who I am. I will always travel with my running shoes on, always. I will always have workout clothes. I never would go somewhere and not have workout clothes because it'll surprise you. You might have some downtime and think, oh, I should have brought something. I always show up prepared, always. I'm always ready. And so my brain believed what I was telling it repetitively of I'm an athlete, I am an athlete, I am an athlete. Whatever follows I am is truth. So this is really powerful. But saying someone in today's world, we see a lot of people like sharing their affirmations. And I think that's great. We do a miracle morning every morning at 5:30 a.m. You are all invited to join us. If you need to know how to get on that Zoom link, you just message me or message my sister. You can find us on Instagram or Facebook as our names, right? Amy Mosser Richards, Molly Kroeker. You're going to find us. But it's so powerful because it sets the tone for the day because you get out of your head and into your heart with a meditation. You work on gratitude. Gratitude is the highest form of self-love and also the highest form of vibration. So you get in that wonderful vibration, high vibration. You're living in the penthouse, which is what our podcast is named. And then guess what? You're going to work. You're not only are you going to write the things you're grateful for and the things that are coming because you already know, like, I already know it is done. Like it is done. Whatever follows I am is truth. And so it's in the Bible, right? I am who I say I am. So I am, whatever follows it is truth. And so I love that I make my own affirmations. I use an app called ThinkUp and I record myself in my affirmations with truth. A lot of them are about money because I think a lot of people have scarcity, and I did too, around money. So, really, a lot of powerful statements around money, a lot around my health, a lot around my happiness, my, madly in love with my husband, the way my kids, like, I see them down the road already successful in careers they love, surrounded by people they love, living in cities they adore. Like all these things, I write my gratitude. And then guess what? My brain believes what it's told repetitively. I write my goal then. That's where we write our definiteness of purpose. So it is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So I write my goal, but I feel it. I don't just write it and leave it. It's the feeling. If I can emphasize anything, it's the feeling. But guess how I get in the feeling? Because I have these auto suggestions to myself, affirmations, a lot of people call them, but they're not somebody else's affirmations. They're mine. They're my own. And that is important. One of my favorite affirmations, I mean, there's so many, but I love saying I attract miracles daily. I believe that. I say it and I know it. I attract, I do not chase. I have peak fitness adventures around the world. And I do. And I do. And there's just so many great ones. But one of my favorites is I no longer identify with human limitations. I no longer identify with that. And that one is a powerful one for me. I am, and I do feel this. I am anointed. I am favored. I am chosen. I am called. And they're almost like soothing. If you're someone that's anxious or, just repeating them back to myself as a reminder that they are truth. So if you constantly affirm your success, visualize your goals, and take action from a place of belief, you align yourself with the results you want. The question is, are you feeding your mind thoughts of success or thoughts of doubt? Because what you focus on, you create. Back to what we just talked about when we started, is your mind is a powerful tool. Whatever you put in the subconscious, your feeling, your heart of hearts, that's your feeling, not this sack of beating blood right here, but your heart of hearts, the feeling part. What are you feeding your subconscious? What thoughts are you feeding your conscious brain? Because that is what you're going to create. So I hope that this brings you value, at least to see these are some things that I could start on. And guess what? The last part is faith. Faith in a spiritual and a religious sense. I'm talking more to your spiritual side right now. Faith is not knowing the how. You will rarely know the how. In fact, look at some of the most successful people. They took the next right step. They took the next right step. That's called inspired action, in the spirit with God. Inspired action. We have done that in our coaching program for over 2 years. Have no idea how to do a masterclass. We figured it out. We messed up a whole lot, but I always say no one died. The emails didn't go out, all the things, but we just kept taking the next right step until we had events that were sold out, events that were over $100,000 in one day. That's because we didn't say how. We didn't say, well, I can't do that because I don't know how. I'm not techie. I'm not this, because remember, whatever follows I am is truth. So I said, you know what? We are equipped and we are favored and we are anointed and we are chosen and we are going to figure this out. And we know great people, because why? Because we're in a mastermind. So we're constantly around people that elevate us and we elevate them together. It goes both ways. But then the faith part is just, I don't have to know how. I don't have to know the how. But so often people are like, I will take that step when the money's in the bank, right? I'll invest in that course when the money's in the bank. I will purchase the boat. I'm thinking of this boat show yesterday. I will get the boat when I get that bonus. That's not how it works. Faith is not knowing the next right step, right? Leap and the net will appear is a perfect example of faith, of like, I know it's going to happen. I'm going to go all in. And so that is what faith is. And you just apply it to that goal that is on your heart, your definiteness of purpose. You've got this incredible mastermind that is elevating you, that is lifting you up. And then you've got that auto suggestion or affirmations that you believe because you're in the feeling of being that. You embody that person that you're being 24/7. You show up as him, you show up as her. But that is a little bit, like, just 30 minutes of what we taught for several hours this past weekend. And don't worry, we always have more events coming up. But I just want you to know, like, keep listening to this podcast, keep sharing it. And honestly, show up to our Miracle Morning. It's free. It is the best way to start the transformation, because I'll tell you what, friends, I am not about motivation, but I am 100% about transformation. And that's what this program is. And that's what we coach on. And that's what we're creating in this community. Just watch. We've got some great things coming out that are around the thing that Amy and I do so well. And that truly is community. We know how to build community. We love community. We believe in it. And that's what we've done here at Sisters Next Door Coaching. So we're so excited to have you as part of our community. Like, share, subscribe. And don't forget, reach out if you want to know more about our Miracle Morning, our self-discipline camp. We'd love to have you there. So as always, what does it mean to be in the penthouse? To me, it is living in the highest form of yourself, right up here in your mind, It is living my best self, being my best self, showing up every day as her. I'm embodying her. So that is how I live in the penthouse every day. And we're so glad you can join us here. Have a beautiful day, friends.
Thank you for tuning in today for Meet Me in the Penthouse with Sisters Amy and Molly. Please rate and review. We love those 5-star ratings and would love to have you go to our website at sistersnextdoor.com.